Alright, let me just double check that we're recording, and we are good. You would not believe how many times I go to record something and I forget. Okay, so there's this idea in programming called stub programming. Basically, we take our idea, we break it down into sub-methods, sub-functions, and we do these. It was one of the major ideas in computer science A. It was meant to kind of like trick you into learning it, I guess, using what we call the design recipe, right? We start off with our design recipes, and then we get to it. The only difference is we're not adding the unit testing it. We'll get to that later. So at the bottom of my screen here, I have this figure that's called the mirror, okay? And our job is to figure out how to draw this. Now, what I would actually rather do than start drawing it, especially in our main method, is to come up with our functions that we're going to see in the pattern. So the first function pattern I see is a line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call a line. Okay, the next part I would see is what I would call the top half. Okay, followed by the bottom half. And then line again. Okay. While this step doesn't seem that important now, it becomes really important. It's actually the main idea behind taking computer science. Remember, computer science is about thinking out in algorithms. It's not about trying to code. Programming is a small portion of computer science. Right now, we're using it to learn a skill. Later, use that skill to code better. Okay. So outside of our main method, we of course then have our public, static, void, and we have line. Okay, and we have this for all of these pieces here. So I have top half, bottom half. Okay, and do I need line again? No, because line already exists. Okay, so there's a bit of an idiom, but I'm going to say it, right? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We break it into little pieces that we can actually work with, okay? So these are little pieces for today. Okay, so I will provide you this file, but I'm just going to copy and paste it from my bottom here. I'm going to open it, new plain text. So now I just have a text file that works like, what do we call it? Mirror 4. Oh, .txt. Alright, so this is what I'm trying to draw, right? So, as you guys know, pseudocode is a really important skill in computer science. Basically, we want to break down what we're doing. Well, we're printing this. We're printing a bunch of equals. We're printing another this. And that's actually it. Oh, then we have to go to the next line. So to go to the next line is print lin. Okay. Now you may notice that like Java's not coloring anything. That's because it's a txt file, not a Java file. Okay, so let's go ahead and think about what this actually looks like in code now, right? Well, print that is, well, let's print that. Let's print the numeral symbol. Okay. I could just .system.out print, but you get the point. Okay. Now, how do I print a bunch of equals? Well, I should probably know how many equals, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so it's not a bunch. I need to print 16 equals. How can I print something of a number? Well, we just went over that, right? 4 int I equals 1, semicolon, until I is greater than or equal to 16, semicolon, I plus plus, right? And then we're gonna system.out.print equal signs. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring this back in Java before this is getting too un-pseudocodey for me. Okay, so we said it's system.out.print. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, Mr. Flower, why don't you just tell it to print this whole thing? You're not wrong. All right, but the objective A is to learn for loops. Secondly, what if I wanted to make my object bigger? Okay, by doing this with for loops, I'm able to scale the size of my object. And once we get into parameters, we'll be able to scale it even easier. Okay, I have my for loop that I wrote here, right? Let me get rid of all this extra crap. Okay, and we have another system.out.print, except this one's print lin, because we want, actually we'll just print just to be safe. And of course our method itself needs its end semicolon, which I must have deleted accidentally. And let me take all this and scoot it over one because it's slightly out of space. That was annoying me. You can come back to where it's supposed to be. Check for errors. Let's run. Okay. Weird. I got these to print, but my loop didn't run. Oh, I flipped this, so let's flip it back. Sorry, make sure I'm recording again. Okay, for some reason this is happening twice. Why is this happening twice? Oh yeah, because I need to call a line at the top and bottom. If I just go for a system.out.print ln, boo. We can see what's going on. Okay, so everything's running. That's good. We've gotten this solved. That's good. We need to move on to the top half of our object. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So our top half is an interesting shape, and it's going to take a little bit of decomposition. So I'm just going to say decomposition is breaking into smaller pieces. Okay. Okay, so once again with our pseudocode, I'm actually going to separate this because we'll do it later. Our pseudocode, right? So with our pseudocode, we have a few things we want to do. And let me just make sure I'm recording. Sorry, I get paranoid about that. Believe it or not, I've recorded multiple lectures without hitting it. Okay, so based off our last lesson, we know that we're printing 4 lines. So we're going to use for each of 4 lines. Okay, and something's going to happen. I'm just writing the pseudocode, guys. I'll write the I++s later. That's not that important. Okay, we need to print some things. Okay, so for each of these, we need to print whatever you want to call this symbol. We need to print some spaces, because there's a few here, but maybe 0. Okay, we need to print the greater than less than symbol, and maybe dots. Then we need to print the greater than lesser symbol, print some spaces, and we need to print another line. Okay, so there's a lot going on here, and actually let me put this all over so it's inside of this. Okay. Okay, so we know that for these spaces we're doing some sort of for loop, right? So let's go ahead and write our for loop. For spaces equals 1. Spaces are less than or equal to. We don't know yet, so we'll just put question marks. Spaces plus. Okay, and we know it's going to do something here. It's going to do some sort of, it'll print a space, right? Okay, we can deal with that later. So our little symbols here never change the amount, so those can stay the same, but we see for the dots we have almost the same thing. So we have 4 dots equal 1. Dots are going to be less than or equal to some number. We can solve that later. Dots plus plus. I'll get rid of the space here just because I don't like how that looks. Same thing, and it's going to print some number of dots. We can figure out how to get that to work better in just a little bit. Okay, spaces will be the same thing as here. So that's what our pseudocode is going to look like. Let's go ahead and bring that into Java, and then we'll clean it up. So top half. Okay, for each of 4 lines, it's time to write this for loop. For int I equals 1. And this one's easy because we know it's 4, so I is less than or equal to 4. Oops. I plus plus. Okay, and we know that it's going to print that line, so system.out.print, and we know it's going to print this symbol. Okay. Spaces. Now we have to think about spaces. Let's go and talk about spaces, okay? All right, so to figure out these spaces, it's an interesting thing, okay? I'm gonna actually just do it at the end of my text file here, but basically we have a few variables we're keeping track of. We have lines, which are gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I shrink you? Yoink. Okay. We have spaces. Well, on the first line, how many do we have? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. On the line below that, how many do we have? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. On the line below that, we have how many? 1, 2. On the line below that, we have 0. Okay. We have another thing we need to keep track of, which were dots. And for dots, we have 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. And I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. Okay. And then we have spaces again, but it's going to follow the same pattern for this example. So I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Now, you may have learned this grade 7, grade 8. Probably forgot, but it's okay. So if my lines are going up by 1 and my spaces are going down, the only way to turn a positive increment into a negative is to, well, it's to multiply by a negative number. Okay, so again, it's going up by 1, it's going down by 2. How do I make something going up by 1 go down by 2? Well, I take that thing, which is lines, and I multiply by, in this case, -2. Okay, but if I take 1 times -2, that gives me -2. How do I get to 6? Well, I need to add a constant. In this case, the constant is 8. Okay, and you can check all the numbers. 2 times -2 is -4. -4 plus 8 is 4. Okay, so what we have here is the difference between these two. Okay, and I wish I could just, let's just do this. Okay, and let's look at this one. Okay, so how would this one work? Well, this one, the pattern's a little bit different. It's a little bit harder to solve. Okay, and over here we have something that's going up by 1. That actually turns into going up by 4. So how do I do that? Well, I need to take my line, multiply it by 4. But that doesn't give me the correct answer. 1 times 4 is 4. I need 0. 2 times 4 is 8. I need 4. Well, I need my constant, -4. Okay? So what we ended up doing here is creating our actual endpoints for each round of our loop. Because remember, our loop's going to run 4 times, and then these loops will run inside of it. Okay? So this isn't really I. I is a bad name for this. I'm going to change this to lines. Why? Because this is now representing each line that we're going down. So my spaces then are going to space until they're equal to the lines times -2 plus 8. Dots, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, and spaces, of course, we'll do the same thing the second time. Okay, and now we're just looking for pseudocode to fix that we didn't catch the first time. So I have this print here, well, and print here. That's not how we print. We system.out.print. Same thing here. System.out.print. Forgot our semicolon. And system.out.print. And then at the end, we need to print a new line. So we go off of that line, still within this for loop. Looks good, let's run it. We have some errors, that's okay. We like errors. Errors lets us fix things. So right here, I didn't fix my pseudocode, system.out. Okay, we have another one. So again, forgot to fix my pseudocode, system.out.print. And I did that twice. System. Okay, so right now, the problem is, I forgot to end parentheses for this one. Still one parenthesis. Oh, okay. Yep. So this one's never been partnered yet. Just slide it all over again, just a little bit. For spaces, oh, I forgot to tell it that it's an int. It's an int. It's an int. So this is important, cleaning up our code. Run. And we have the first half of our object. Alright. I want you to pause. I want you to try the second half of the object. So I want you to do bottom half. Okay? It's going to be very similar. We're going to take this object here. You're going to basically apply the same table and write your pseudocode. Okay? I'm going to be checking for your pseudocode. I'm going to be checking for your table. Okay? In your notes. Alright. I'll see you in the next part.